Okay, I believe we're live. Hello, everyone. Gotta just update all of this. Cool. Click on here. This should work. Awesome. I'm gonna turn down the quality. That is turned off. Streaming live over here. Awesome. How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Hi, du bist Deutsch, oder? Ja, ich bin Deutsch. Yes. Happy release day. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I hope everyone is enjoying the new song. You guys can hear me, right? Is your mom a teacher? Well, not really a teacher, but kind of, yeah. Okay, so I've got a headphones. Let me turn on some background music. Actually, I'm gonna turn on something, I guess. Turn on something that we just actually no, I have an idea. I'm gonna turn on this in the background. Kind of just really quiet. Where is it? All right, cool. Hey Naska, happy release. Thank you. I've covered and your live streams are all I watch. Oh, that's sweet. Thanks a lot. Falls sie in einer Grundschule Lehrerin ist, hatte sie mal. Auf der Grundschule war sie keine Lehrerin. Also sie ist nicht auf einer Grundschule Lehrerin. Alright, cool. Then, I guess we can... Let me just open up this thing. Let me try this out. So I got the Streamlabs app. So I can switch to the different scenes. So let's just wait a little. Actually, let me switch this. Once we hit 30 watching, I'm going to switch the camera. Because I actually got new camera equipment. It looks super dope. So you're gonna see me in all HD. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Infernum asked, are you a full-time music producer? Yes, I am. Full-time. Oh, yeah, meine Mutter heißt nicht Ahrens mit Nachnamen. Okay, so we got 28 watching. I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and switch to, let's try this out if this app works, to single cam. And it should work. Okay. Let me just figure this out really quickly. Oh, I think we're not on... Oh yeah, I remember. Let me actually switch back to idle. We are not on right mode. Okay, I think that should be it. Then switch to single cam.
And there we go. Now let me switch this over here. Sit right over here. Okay, cool. So the light is actually still a bit too bright. I'm gonna fix that, I think. Let me check this out again.
Yeah, it's just a bit too bright. I'll switch it back.
Okay, I'll be right back. So turn that down to 15. And we should be, oops, make this one a bit darker as well, if I can. There we go. I think your audio source changes when switching the scene. Oh, wait, is it? Ah, it might be. Okay, let me check this out. Yeah. You're right.
You're right. Okay, there we go. Now it should be back to normal. Yeah, now it should be back to normal. The lighting is okay. I don't think it's too bright actually. Wait, you can probably turn this down. There we go. This was always a bit fiddly. I think that should work. Let me sit all the way back there. That's good, right? That should be good. I have a little bit of a pandemic haircut. On the sides it looks like hair loss. Yeah, I don't have hair loss. That's just a really strong fade I made myself. Right there. It's just that this hair has gotten a little too long. That's why I usually wear a cap. But yeah, I actually just recently got this camera. It was a bit of a headache to get this camera to work. I actually still need to make that light a little bit darker. That should be good. Sure. I think that looks really good. So if I sit all the way back here. There we go. Okay. So we got this light over there, which is good. That light right in front. That's great. So, release day. Right. Not bad for a self-cut, yeah. I don't know how I managed to still give myself a fade, because the last time I did that, it looked horrible. Let me turn that down just a tiny bit. Looks a bit better. So today's a release day. I actually released a new song today. You guys, if you follow me on my socials, you could hear it on Audios first as sort of a pre-listen. That was on Wednesday. And today it's officially out on all platforms. You can get it on Apple Music, you can get it on Beatport, I think Beatport as well, right? Like Spotify, of course, SoundCloud. And there's actually a full-blown, like, full music video for it that I made. And I actually want to play it in this stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the screen. I'm going to turn off the camera. And then we're going to play... We're going to play the video. Okay? Just going to play it once. Is the... One more question. Is the audio synced up with the microphone? That's really important. Okay? It is. It's actually perfect. That's great. Okay, then. We are going to switch over to the video. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm actually going to switch over to screen. I'm going to turn off my screen and switch back to idle. Cut this out. Then go over here. Where's the volume? There we go at 100%. And then here we go. Actually, let me mute myself really quickly. Right. Let me just mute myself really quick. So I'm gonna just
Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. I've been waiting for a response. Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. Got no clues where I belong. Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. I've been waiting for a response. Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. Got no clues where I belong.
I did not unmute myself. Yeah, great. anyways, that was the track Where I Belong. That was 100% kind of 100% done by me. You know, just what you heard and what you saw was entirely made by me. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate anyone listening to it and enjoying it. And I hope you guys well, enjoy it, of course. That's already what I said. But yeah, I'm really proud of this track. And again, thanks to everyone who is streaming it on Spotify, watching it on YouTube, or who's previously tuned it into Audius. Because that actually got the track into the top tracks of the week, I think, which was really cool. And yeah, I'm not muted anymore, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. So, I on socials, I have a fan link up, which is this. I can actually just switch here and turn this back on. So this is a fan link. So you've got the SoundCloud preview, you've got Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Music. I'm actually going to throw this link into the YouTube comments right now. Let me just put up the app again. Switch to single cam. So let's throw this into the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat. So yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing a sort of breakdown of the track. Maybe not this stream, maybe next stream. We'll figure something out. Actually, we could probably do it this stream. Shouldn't be necessarily an issue. So I think we can actually do that. We could do a breakdown of it. I think it's a very simple track though. So let me think. Okay, so we're gonna do this. If you guys want me to keep working, actually, wait, I'm gonna ask real quick. Yeah, you know what? Let's do a breakdown. Let's do a breakdown of this track, because that's kind of what these live streams are for, right? It's just kind of going over how I produce and how I make my tunes. So let me just get this on focus again. So yeah, let me just throw this again. Also, this camera was such a B-word to set up because it's one of the Sony Alpha series, and this is actually the A6000. And what's funny is it actually has a little bug. So when you try to use this camera this way, it applies a like 2012 Instagram like softening filter to your face, which I doubt it's doing now. Shouldn't be doing it. Yeah, no, it's not doing it. There's a workaround for it, but you actually need to get a new lens for it, and apparently they never fixed it. And that camera came out 2014. Obviously, it's still crazy quality, right? But they never fixed that bug, which is like crazy to me. So I had to get a new lens for it, but now it works because there's some little like hack you can do. So my face is actually clean. Now it shouldn't be doing anything to my face, I believe. Yeah, no, it's not doing anything, right? Let me actually just check really. Oh, my phone keeps shutting off. I noticed. Let me just turn this feature off on my phone. Yeah. Wait. Maybe I'm shutting it off myself. That's odd. We go back to idle. Okay. And then go back to single cam. And we're back. Cool. So let me just move this up a bit. So yeah, this camera was like kind of like softening your face. It looked horrible. But now it looks great with the new lens as well. Turn this down a notch. And this is gonna be my streaming camera from now on, and especially for if I make any videos or even like photos for social. So that's super cool. Yeah, do a studio tour. It's literally just my bedroom, so there's not much to see. Okay, so what we're gonna do, if you guys want to know how I made that track "Where I Belong," which I just showed, you guys can wait. I put the link in the chat, right? Yeah, remember. What I want you guys to do, if you want me to keep working on another track, which we started from another stream, I didn't upload a work in progress of it yet. We can do that. And if you want that, use a fire emoji. And if you want me to break down "Where I Belong," the new track that I just released, throw in a door emoji. I think that should work. My boy in 4K. I'm always not entirely sure if I'm like fully in focus. I think that should be, yeah, that should be good. I can actually also change the color of this one right there. But actually, I'm gonna keep it this color for this video, for the stream. I mean, okay, this? Door, lots of doors. Posting multiple doors, it does not count. It's just one door. Okay. Wasn't this song from last stream? No, that was a different song. Only one door counts. You can't cheat the system. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of doors. A few more doors than there's fire. I'm drinking. Oh wait. For my screen just froze. I'm drinking a Coke Zero. Honestly, with this glass, it looks like whiskey or something, but it's no. I don't drink Orc. Why are we putting door? Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Anyone that just joined the stream is not gonna get it. Okay, I think honestly, the door. There's more doors. There's more doors than there's fire emojis. Actually, let me check on Twitch. Okay, Twitch only has one fire emoji. How are you, my guy? I'm doing fine. How about you? So yeah, let's do a breakdown. Actually, let's do that. Let me load up the file. Okay. I know where it is, actually. It has to be this, right? I mean, it's not in the assets folder. No, it's definitely this. Okay. Poll, man. Poor fire fans. Burn the door. Yeet door gang. We're gonna do a break door. That was really cheesy. Let me just... I'm always not entirely sure whether I'm on focus or not. I think I am now. So let me put on these headphones. Figure out a way for it to not look weird. A bit more of this. Actually, now you've got the shadow of my headphones. My headphones on there. Oh, that looks good. Cool. What's going on with my hair? I think that's good. No entiendo nada, pero rico. That's something I understood. Yeah, I need to just fix my hair really quick. Where's that side cut right there? This hair does not sit well. There's no way this can look good with headphones. I think we're gonna just keep it like this. Just make your hair messy and it will be alright. Yeah, likely. I feel like this keeps closing on me. Okay. Do you speak Spanish? I speak a bit of Spanish. Okay, let's switch over to this screen. So I'm gonna hit screen. I feel like I can never trust these apps. Like either shortcuts or apps to change the scene. I don't know why I can't trust it. Whoa, what just happened with the CPU? Go over to options, preferences. I hope we're using... Yeah, we're using FL Studio SIO. That's good. Turn this off. Let's make sure that audio is working. Hair breakdown. Hair breakdown. You want a hair breakdown? When faceplant preset pack. I'm about to go make some breakfast. Okay, that's cool. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's switch over to screen. I can trust it, right? I can trust it. Yeah. Okay, so this is the project for Where I Belong. Actually, I still have some. This is likely some. What I started doing a lot is just taking parts of a project that I think might work still, and I'll just like put them somewhere else in the project. So it's kind of like keeping certain ideas somewhere. So that's like what you see here. Or sometimes this is actually for like making chord stacks or like having basses, and then when I resample them, I just put them like to the side. That's something I like doing a lot. Let me just check. Check camera. Okay, that all works. Make you see if I can make this just a tiny bit bigger, maybe. Is this right in the corner? It is, right? It's right in the corner. Oh wait, this is not. Is this right in the corner? Let me check on YouTube actually. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Okay. So this is the project, and again, as always, I have it in a group. So I usually always have these in a group. And actually, this one is quite quiet. So if I play this, it's quite quiet because I send it off to mastering. The CPU is fine. Actually, yeah, I think we should be good. Is the audio fine? I hope the audio is fine, because sometimes we get some weird crackling. So I want to make sure that that doesn't happen. I think we're good. Okay, so let's go to the start. Let's actually make this just a tiny bit louder. I can clip a little for the audio's sake. Let me actually switch back to single cam. Oh god. I think Ableton is having some trouble with the playback, so let me check what the CPU is doing. OBS is taking some CPU. Performance. Maybe it's the overclocking. Let's doing this. We go over here. OC tweaker. That's the one I need. Put it to 0. I think I had it higher than usual, right? I mean, no, it should be fine. Okay. And then switch it back to screen. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, that's awful. Let's go over to preferences. Put this up to 1024. Is the audio still fine? Should be still fine. Let's actually see what is taking so much. That's a lot better. Okay, cool. Thank you for all of these live streams. I've learned so much. No problem. I really enjoy doing them. Let me actually. Man, hair just looks so bad with headphones on, but whatever. Okay. So is the audio fine? Oh, actually, Lydian just donated. For some reason, that didn't come through. Snare. Just snare. Yeah, that's a meme I missed out on. Thanks for the 2. Highly appreciate it. Let's switch back to screen. So let's start off with the first group, which is sidechain. That's just as usual, just using Shaperbox 2. So I just draw the same patterns as the drum patterns, and then just send that through Shaperbox 2. What I like doing though is actually using a band split, like a frequency split for the mids and the lows, because the lows usually need a little bit more sidechain than the mids. But other than that, let's get over to the next group, which is the drums. And I think I actually used, yeah. So what I did here is I had my drum synthesizer. And then what I did is I recorded it with Edison and had it still on the same channel, but then turned it off and used a sampler. So that's that. Then I had the same thing for the snare. And I actually have a couple of different ones in here. So this is really cool because we can have just like multiple snare types in a single like channel, which is really dope. So you don't have to load up different snares, but I usually don't do it this way. I usually just have the drum samples in just one audio channel. And then that's the drums. So of course, like I have different drums for different sections. So for example, in the second drop, well, it's those really sharp and snappy drums, and then the first one, it's more sort of the traditional melodic dubstep type drums. And then we have this right here, which is like a whip effect. So if I just play the drums, it sounds like this. And it's just something, I think it's from Splice. It's just, I did some really nice sort of panning effect. So it sounds like it's coming from like multiple directions. And then just some reversed low thumb. Very simple stuff. Sometimes what gives a snare really like a really strong hit is sort of a reverse kick drum, because it gives it sort of a weird suck-in effect. So that's what makes this snare hit really hard. It's actually something they do in movies as well. Like if they want to sort of create something really punchy. I think even with explosions it happens. They do this inward effect, which obviously usually doesn't make like a crazy amount of sense, especially in the low end, but it depends on what it is. But for punches, it usually doesn't make sense, right? Punches are usually very like just like a. But in movies, they sound so crazy because they're using these inward effects. So that's why this sounds like a really strong slap. And then the drums are really simple. There's just a couple of like rides and ride loops. Very simple stuff. There's usually a lot of processing on these, so like saturation, EQ, and then soothing. So I use Soothe 2, which basically just like removes all of the harsh frequencies from your audio input. And then I'm running that through Transient Shaper, which is basically just like kind of sidechaining the cymbals whenever the drums are hitting. Then we have this intro snare. And here I'm actually using... Oh, the CPU is really taking a hit there. Here I'm using the frequency shifter to pitch it up. Which can work in some cases, but usually I highly kind of like not recommend using frequency shifter to pitch things up. Usually it sounds better when you pitch things down with frequency shifter, but when you pitch them up, it kind of pushes up frequencies that aren't really supposed to be all that high. So like low rumble stuff. It sounds really weird when you push that up, the frequency spectrum, while it sounds okay when you push it down. You get this really weird effect with it. It almost sounds like it's... I guess it's because you're removing all of the rumble, which then sounds too clean. It almost sounds like a high pass, I guess. That's probably why it sounds weird. And then you've got these claps. And then what I like doing here, for example, I think this is actually 128 BPM. So what I like doing with claps is like adding a, sort of like a hi-hat loop from a completely different like genre and BPM, and then kind of like stretch that over to be in this genre and BPM. And sometimes like gives you really cool results and really cool rhythms that you usually wouldn't really have gotten otherwise. And in this case, it worked really, really well. So I did that. Because that's the actual hi-hat loop. You can actually still kind of hear the kick in there. And then with the claps together. Sounds really nice. And then I think that's pretty much it for the drums. And again, in the second section, we have some really, really tight drums. And again, this is a very, very different type of kick drum and a very, very different type of snare drum. But it sounds really, really nice. And then up to the next section, which is the mids. I think this is the sort of the drop part, so we're actually going to get to that later. We're going to start with the intro and breakdown part. So there's a lot of stuff in here, actually. The first thing I started off with is a piano. We'll just let that play. I'll just let you enjoy that in its isolated form. And then I think this is... This is some like weird... Yeah, this is some like weird Omnisphere patch, I think, that I layered. And like, I think I actually like put a lot of reverb on this. It just gives it a vibe. And then again, what's really important for like piano stuff, this is all not like written, right? Like recorded while I was writing it, or like while I was playing it on the piano. It was actually just like figure out the chords, write them down. And then there's like, I think there's three components to it that are kind of important. One is velocity. One is sort of randomness and sort of natural. It has to be natural in the way the notes start. And yeah, the velocity, the randomness, and I think that's like two though. Is it only 2? Let me think about this. Yeah, and the amount of reverb, right? Because if you add too much reverb to a piano, it will always sound kind of unnatural. So when you start your intro, actually, number 3, I would rather say, because that's a very specific thing, is sort of a natural flow to your piano. So it's randomness in the way the notes start, it's velocity, and it's definitely as well like a sort of swing to it. So as you can see, none of these notes are really perfectly on time, even the ones that are like not chords, so that I could technically start and let them start at the exact point, but by having everything be sort of a little bit delayed and a little random in the way they start, it gives a more natural feel. And you can really easily do this with like, I think just like the standard MIDI effects. So you can use things like the chord function and then put it on random, so it starts the notes randomly. And you can use velocity to randomize the velocity and then just pick out like the best sounding parts. But yeah, that's the piano. Then we've got sort of a reverse piano hit. Very simple, so it kind of just like goes into a normal piano and it sounds really nice and smooth. I hope the audio is still fine, by the way. I can only see the Twitch chat right now. Go back to screen. Then the next thing we have is this Reese. And this is actually not just a normal Reese, this is actually sort of a drum and bass Reese. And actually it is a normal Reese. Actually? No, it's not. It's actually distorted, is it? Or am I opening up the right one? Yeah, it's actually, yeah, it's kind of like just a drum and bass Reese. It's just 2 sine waves, white noise, and then like heavily distorted, running through 2 auto filters. Add some ODT. And again, usually you wouldn't really use this in an intro, right? But here it actually fit very, very well. And then we have these sounds. What's really funny as well is like the intro chords. These are the same chords, but because of the way the piano expresses these chords, it sounds so much more sort of sentimental and emotional. While these are still playing the same chords, but they sound more uplifting. It's really interesting the way the instrument that you use to play your chords with how they affect the emotional aspect of it. And then we have this sort of upbeat part for the build-up. And then we have multiple sounds here. So we have one serum patch, which I'm guessing is just, yeah, 2 saw waves. Then we have another one, which is also serum, which is, I think, just a higher version of it. And then we have this really interesting operator patch that I made. And I think this is, yeah, this is using FM. Is it? Yeah, kind of like a different way of it. It's really cool. And then we have this sort of low bass note layer. Also using serum, but I think this is like a... Yeah, this is adding more sort of sub to it. I mean, more lower stereo information to it. And then it's sort of slowly opening up. All of these actually slowly opening up for the drop. And they almost turn into the chord stack that you hear in the drop, which is really, really cool. And then we have this, which is just an ARP. And actually you can tell it's very upbeat, so it just helps sort of morph everything into a different vibe. And then all together, you get a very upbeat part coming from a very emotional part. Audio is still good, that's good. So yeah, and then we have the lead section. which is a lot of stuff. So we have a lot of leads here. We have this patch. What I actually did here is really cool. What I did is I actually recorded the melody for this just with my voice. So I kind of just like freestyled it. So I kind of just went like something like that, right? You can just you can just freestyle something, record it, because our brain is just kind of very sporadic with remembering things. So you can have a really cool idea and then suddenly it's gone. So you can just record your ideas in here and then start like sort of converting it into notes. So that's what I did here. And then actually this patch is like really interesting. I think it's it's actually a saw wave, but it's running through so much distortion. Like we've got just the distortion from Serum, but then we've also got an amp. We've got a pedal running through OTT and then saturator. What's crazy is like we're distorting the sound so much, but it still sounds really smooth because of it, which is a really interesting concept. And I think artists like Haywire and stuff use a lot of distortion on the leads, and it really depends on what type of distortion you use, but it can just actually make your sound a bit smoother. And then we've got another preset. Well, these are technically not presets, right? They're just simple patches. And then we've got this one, which is just sort of adding more detuned top end layer stuff for the lead. And then we actually have these little B parts right here, sort of these little response parts, which is really, really cool. And then we have this part. And this one actually sounds a lot like a brass. I tried to kind of emulate a brass in here. So I'm trying to sort of emulate the way the brass opens and then closes like a real instrument. So I'm like kind of like modulating the detune and then the low pass, and have an all pass in here to make it sound even more realistic. And this adds just a layer of intensity. We got it. And then as well with this sort of 8-bit kind of sound. So yeah, this part is very, very upbeat, and it's really interesting how it starts off very emotional, especially with the vocals, which we'll get to as well. And then it kind of like goes into this upbeat part, and then this really energetic, emotional part in the drop. And then we have the outro part, sort of the breakdown part. Let me just check. Is everything all right with the stream? I don't 100% trust this setup, so I'm just making sure. Is the stream all right? Or is it all left? Oh, we're stuttering? Are we stuttering? It stutters? Mike is stuttering. Ableton is underrunning. A little laggy sometimes. Okay, let me go to the let me open up this thing. I think this might be because of the overclocking. So I've put the CPU overclock down a little bit, and I hope that fixes it. If it's worse, let me know. Right? That's really important. Let me go put this down to 240p. Okay, cool. So, let me go back to screen. Okay, and then we have this, for the breakdown part, we have this guitar. And actually, I sampled that little click sound, that little slapping on the guitar strings to stop it. I actually sampled it because it didn't play it in all the parts. So I have it here, and then together you get that. Which sounds really nice as well. And then we have this other layer of guitars. Gives it sort of a heroic kind of vibe. And then just a normal Reese, sort of just giving it some depth. And then we have this freeze, which I don't... I think what this is a pad I made, I think, in Omnisphere. But yeah, that's sort of for the breakdown, of course. It's very simple, so it can just kind of focus on the vocals. And now let's actually get to the vocals. Oh, actually, let's go to the effects first. I mean, this is very standard stuff. But actually, one of the things I like to do in the drop part is actually take some of the parts from the vocals and just kind of loop them and make sort of a background pad out of it. But yeah, the effects are really simple. And of course, there's my signature riser. I actually think I also used the vocals as a riser, which can work really, really well. But yeah, let's get to the vocals. So the vocals are pretty much just one take. So what I did here is actually I turned my vocal into sort of a weird, my vocals into a weird guitar type thing with a lot of distortion. I kind of don't want to turn off these effects and see what it sounds like without, but we can try it. So let me just keep on the autotune because I don't wanna torture you. Again, like a lot of my music now is a lot of it is about improvisation, right? Is like, what is the vibe right now? What can we do? And how can we convert all of the ideas that we have in our head, like really fastly, into the project? And one of the ways is with like just obviously sound design, right? You just take whatever you're making with your mouth, whatever the melodies are, and you turn them into actual instruments instead of trying to like really just spend so much time converting all of your ideas into an instrument and then finding another instrument, rather just like transforming what you already have into the melodies is really good. The mic got wrecked. What do you mean? He became the autotune. Let's just use the clean audio. You know what? Let's just use the clean audio. But now I'm probably left, right? So if I go to, okay, yeah. So first of all, I'm really, really quiet now. Don't mix to mono. Okay, that's good. That's I'm really quiet now though. So let me just throw a filter on here, which is likely a gain and a compressor. There we go. So let me just push it so I'm a little louder. Let me add a noise gate. Okay. Yeah. That should be a little better. Actually sounds, I don't know if it sounds a lot better. A bit more. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of noise. Like a lot. Okay. Let's not have the compressor do so much. Yeah, this sounds trash though. Sounds trash. Why is properties? Okay. Oh, that's a big difference, right? In quality. Is it fine now? Is it okay? Double voice. Hashem? Wait, what? What? Really? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Uh. Oh, we're back. Are we back? Are my vocals fine? I mean, is my voice fine? Is my voice fine? Can you guys hear me? You should be able to hear me. Sounds good now. Okay. Cool. Maybe, yeah, I don't know what's happening with the CPU. Ableton's been a bit weird. But yeah, let's keep working. If anything happens, anyone from Twitch, just let me know. And YouTube, of course. So we have these like really obviously really crappily sounding vocal recordings, and then using a lot of the processing. It sounds awesome, right? It sounds like a guitar almost, which a lot of things with distortion do. They sound like guitars, which is kind of cool, of course. But yeah, then we get the vocals. So the first thing I have here is a reverse sort of suction type effect. Let me go back to here. Single cam, let me just check. Okay, everything's all right. Cool. And then we get to the vocals. So actually these vocals were originally from another track. It was sort of a slower track, so these vocals are, I think, either sped up or slowed down. I guess slowed. I think they're sped up, right? And
Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my
but I decided to make a completely new track for it because the original track didn't really get much of that over, like all of the emotion over that this track had. These vocals had, I mean. But yeah, let me just, everything's all right. Okay, cool. So, I think these already have processing. Actually, no, I'm not gonna play you the original way they sounded. I'm not gonna do that. But what I can tell you is that I do have a couple of effects on here that make it sound the way it does, and that's mainly OTT. Is there another thing happening now? Is there lag? Are we lagging? What's happening? Oh, I don't know what's happening, dude. I don't know what's going on with the internet or with Streamlabs. It's one of the two. Have you tried switching your PC to high performance mode? Honestly, this stuff has only like been started happening. I guess when I started using Live 11, maybe it's live. Not quite sure what is causing these outages. Or it could be YouTube. I mean, are these lags happening on Twitch? Okay, so to any of the guys on Twitch, have you guys had the same lags, sort of the YouTube video just like buffering? The stream just buffering? Did you guys have that? How much bitrate are you using? I mean, I haven't changed anything in the like streaming quality, so I don't know why these outages are happening. It's really weird. Okay, I guess I think we're good. I don't know what the hell is happening with my CPU. I think it's Live 11. This stuff doesn't seem to happen with Live 10. I'm still on beta, so hopefully they fix all of that stuff. If you use a high bitrate and try to stream in more than one place, it's usually happening. Oh, so you're saying the stream would be more consistent if I were to only say stream on YouTube or Twitch? Oh, that might make sense. But I think all of the mic issues and stuff are coming from this side, so I don't know what's happening. But yeah, let's keep going actually. Let me switch over to time to choose. Let me switch back to screen. So that's Valhalla Room for you. Then with OTT, you push it back up.
Feels like falling.
And actually, OTT sort of gives this
Feels like falling.
this whole reverb thing a bit more strength, so it kind of pushes out the original. Okay, so Twitch is fine, you're saying, and it's YouTube. Oh, it's just YouTube. Why would that be happening? Okay, let me just let me get over here. Let me log in and see. Are we back? Okay, I think we're back on YouTube. Yeah, so this might be because of Restream then, I'm not sure. Everything should be working. So I think it might be time to decide between one of the two. That's gonna suck though, but I guess we'll have to do that. Start your OBS with administrator mode. Netflix doesn't love us. Play some audio. Okay. Okay, let's see if I go back to screen and I play this again, let's see if it lags again.
Feels like falling through the cloud. I've been waiting for a response. Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. Got no clues where I belong.
Is it fine? Oh, we've got no lag. It should be all good. I hope at least. It's good so far. Okay, it's smooth. That's good. Because none of these things should actually be happening. I don't know why they started happening. They started happening like 3 months ago. Maybe it's because of Restream. I might do a test stream sometime just on YouTube to see if those issues still persist. But yeah. Okay, so I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back in a second. I'll just play the video again, the music video. So for any of the people who haven't seen it yet, I just released a new song called Where I Belong. I'm gonna play that video. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then I'll be back. Next time, open OBS as admin. I'll try that. Let me go. Where's it? Okay, cool. So I'll be right back. Turn this off.
Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. I've been waiting for a response. Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. Got no clues where I belong. Feels like falling through the clouds, through the depths of my mind and beyond. I've been waiting for a
Gone. Rip stream. Okay, so let me just quickly make sure. Guys over at Twitch, is the stream fine? Is the stream okay? Do we have an interruption? Okay, so it's YouTube. It has to be. Right? If the people on YouTube are saying that the stream just got interrupted, then it is YouTube. let me check this really quickly. It's all right. Okay, so it's all right on Twitch. Okay, so we're back on YouTube. So I guess YouTube has issues with this, or it's Restream. So I'll have to decide between YouTube and Twitch, I guess, next time. Because apparently, or we could restart the stream. But honestly, I just want to get this section done. And this is likely going to be a shorter stream today. But yeah, so just to make sure everyone that's watching right now, I'm going to put the Twitch link in the YouTube chat so you can go over to Twitch. Whenever we get any issues, you can just keep watching on Twitch and it should be fine there. So let's do that right now. I'm going to give you the Twitch link in the chat. So you can have that. What I should probably do is do a second stream on YouTube. Unless we do on Twitch. I guess I could do the same thing for Twitch. Unless, like, I don't know if it's because of Streamlabs. It could be because of Streamlabs. I mean, not Streamlabs, actually, Restream, right? It could be because of that. Or it could be, again, because of just purely YouTube. It couldn't be internet or CPU problems. Yeah, it would have to be YouTube itself, right? That's doing this. I can try and do a test run on just YouTube. And then do a test run on just Twitch. I don't have Twitch. You don't have to. I don't think you have to log in to watch anyone on Twitch. Actually, you don't have to have an account. I believe. But yeah, let's try it again. Let's keep working on the project, and if it happens again, move over to Twitch. The link is in the chat. I might restart the stream, but I usually don't like restarting the stream, so we'll figure something out. So yeah, let's keep going. So this is the so again, these are the vocals. It's pretty much the same line for the intro and for the breakdown. I think we have a second layer here. This is sort of a lower pitch version of it that sort of just gives the whole thing a bit more depth. And I also start like messing around with the reverb. So I turn down the mix and turn up the decay at some points. I've been waiting for a response. And it gives it sort of a it's almost like part of transitioning to a different section of the track, which is really cool. And then we have this part, of course, like with this together. So yeah, let me just again check really quickly. The mic is crackling. Oh my god, what is happening? It's like too much to handle for my PC. It's really annoying. Let me actually restart live. Live 11. I'm just gonna restart it and see if that helps anything. Maybe like switching the buffer wasn't the greatest idea midstream. Oh, my head hurts. Has this happened before? Actually, I've like had much more complex tracks I've worked on stream, and they didn't have any issues. So yeah, I have to figure out what this is all about. Actually, the mic is actually really loud. Let me just turn that down a bit. We're just getting a lot of followers on Twitch, which is really cool, by the way. Thanks a lot for that. Yeah, let's get back to the project file. All right. Let me reopen this. Let me close all of these. So again, I'll do a test stream on YouTube, and I'll do a test stream on Twitch, and I'll see whether it's either Twitch or YouTube, and depending on which doesn't have these issues, I'll decide to stream solely on that side. Yeah, most of the streams you start something from scratch. It could be because of the complexity. I just hope it's not, because this track isn't really all that big, which is kind of like the weird part about it, right? But yeah, let's open the project back up. It's gonna take a while because it's got a bit of size. Yeah, maybe it's also just like live being better in beta. That could be it too. Just do 2048 samples on the buffer link. Honestly, the buffer link wasn't like really ever an issue. So I don't know if it's that. What if there's a plugin that's using massive amount of processor resources? There could be. Maybe I need to turn up the CPU. Wait, let me do this really quick. Turn this up to 4.4. This is usually the amount that I had. So maybe it's because of that, because it wasn't high enough. Yeah, it helps my CPU when I up the delay compensation on the SIO. Hello, Agony. Can we get back to the project, please? Okay, I hope it works. Okay. Go back to screen. So, where we left off is right with the vocals. So we have another set of vocals right here, which is for the drop. So these are basically like the fill parts.
I've been waiting for a response.
And these are just like really with a lot of reverb, a lot of delay.
Got no clues where I belong.
And then they kind of cut out so the drop has more space. And then we have another one for the second drop, and these are like really interesting. Like really heavily distorted and compressed. And they kind of just really fit the vibe of the second It isn't crackling anymore. Let's go. Oh, that's good. So it's not crackling anymore. YouTube is fine. That's great. That's cool. Maybe restarting the project actually helped. Let me just fix my hair. What the hell is this on my head? Okay, I gotta fix this. Cool. So let's go back. If it's working now, that's great. Let's go back to screen. And then we have the drop. And then this drop is really interesting because I actually made a whole... I think it might be down here, actually. I think it's this whole group. Why is it not playing? Why is it not playing? What? I can't hear it. Oh, it's because this is turned off, right? Yeah. Let's turn this off. So this is actually the drop chord stack. So this is all the stuff in the drop, basically. So I have this. Let me turn these off, actually. Boom. So that's the first chord stack. I have to make this louder again, right? It's really quiet now. Then we have this one. And this one. Everything works. Yeah, man, it's perfect now. That's great. Okay, YouTube is fine. Okay, cool. So restarting live actually helped. Cool. Then we have all of these three together. Then we have a lower note. I think this is probably... Yeah. And this is basically one saw wave that's just really strong, right in your face, and then a second one that adds all of the low stereo information. And then we have this this little lead I think I did. I'm not sure what this thing is actually saying originally. Let me check. Let me check real quick. Is YouTube still fine? That's cool. Okay, so everything is still, yeah, it's better than it's better than perfect. That's great. Everything's working. That's good. What is this? What is this original? Oh, I think it's, yeah, it's the same vocal thing. And then I just turned that into... Cool. And then we have this part. Let me just solo this. Just a very simple ARP. And this. Just a lead, and then I think a screechy lead as well. And then just combining these leads with the chord stacks. Combining that with the low subnote. Combining the ARP. And then the sort of vocal chop type thing I did. And then what I like doing is just resampling that and then throwing that right in the drop, because I feel like it's a lot more simple to chop things up and to just get an interesting rhythm out of it. So this is the that same chord stack resampled and then put in the drop. Yes, this is the same song I released today. That's basically a breakdown of that track. Also, I'm probably going to put this at the end, or I'm going to tell you guys right now, this video, this live stream that I'm going to save on YouTube is going to be in the playlist, the live stream playlist, in the live stream production playlist. And it's going to be unlisted. So because I want all of the music videos on the channel to be not like drowned by all of the live stream videos, right? So I'm gonna have them all in a playlist, and so you guys can still check them out, but they're not gonna be like right at the video section, right? That's really important, just so you guys know. So yeah, I'm using like some saturation on here, some EQing, boosting the high end, and then I'm using Ozone 8 in here. And then what I'm doing with Ozone is I'm actually compressing the low end to be a lot more consistent. And then I'm adding, I think, yeah, I'm just cleaning up the low end here. And this is great, especially when you don't want to use a separate sub. You can just kind of use Ozone 8 and then use a lot of like limiting and compression on the sub, on the low end. And it kind of just fixes all of those issues. And then I have some filler sounds. Using mainly auto filter and auto pan. And then we have this bass. Another bass right here. And then another one right here. Actually, this is not a bass. This is like a beep sound. It's just a filler because we have these nice sort of glitches here. And then it goes like, right? And I think what I did here is I had like a couple of growls and stuff, and I just resampled them. And then I used Edison to make glitches out of them, basically. That's what I did. And I love doing that technique. It's really, really great. Because it works with anything really, you can just use all of the basses that you have in your drop or in your project, throw that into Edison, like a loop, throw that loop into Edison, and then just like scratch around, and you get some like a ton of glitches that actually like kind of fit the track, right? Because you're using the original material from that whole project, which is really nice. And then we have this really nice lead. And I'm not sure, I think this is also the vocal originally. Just like a section taken of it and then distorted and using some reverb. And then together with the chord stack. So yeah, that's basically the drop. There's not like a crazy much to it. But again, it's like the mix down and basically the melodies, because the first part of the drop is very much just very clean supersaw chord stacks, right? And then the second part, we get this like extra melody to it. So it just gets a bit more epic, a bit more and more epic, and then it just kind of ends. And then it kind of just like calms you down, and then it just kind of it drives you back up, it hypes you back up. And then this is the second part of the second drop, basically, of the track. And I think for this part I made a whole new part. So basically what I did here, I need to recall my memory. I think I took these. Wait, let me solder this. So I basically took the super chords, super stacks chords thingies that I had, and I basically just threw like an LFO on it and kind of turned it into future bass. And then I had another patch. So this one's really interesting. What I'm doing here is I'm doing the same thing, but I think the LFO tool is a lot more. It's a lot sharper. So if I selected all these and press 0, sounds more like that. And then turning on all of these effects is basically just a lot of delays and a vocoder and disperser. That gives us that sort of metallic vibe, and then combine with this one. Sounds really, really dope. And then we have this low sub bass. Very simple bass. Well, sub basically. It's just for the low end. And then we have this. I think this is this specific serum bass that I made. And this is again running through vocodecs. And it's a very simple sort of comp filter, phasey type roll. And I think what is giving this the main sound, I'm pretty sure, is vocodecs. And it's the phaser flanger. Actually, that's barely doing anything. It's also disperser. That's giving it a lot. It's a very, very simple bass that wouldn't really work on itself or on its own. But because we're layering it with so many things, and especially there's some sort of atonality in it, like some of the harmonics don't quite fit. But because we have so much going on, it doesn't really matter that much. And what's really cool is what basically like sustains itself in mixing everything together is sort of the gnarly sound of it. So because everything's being layered, you don't really notice those inharmonics anymore. Because basically, if I wanted this to like be harmonically correct with everything else, I would have to use a saw wave. And yeah, nothing that's like inharmonic, like comp minors, or even phasers that can kind of turn inharmonic, or even delays. But because we're layering everything, and it kind of gets like, it gets mixed into this whole, into this pot of harmonics, it doesn't really matter that much anymore. And then, again, I resampled that for the second drop, which is right up here. So it sounds like this with all of the processing. And I think I actually took some of these and actually sped them up with Complex Pro. And again, there's like Ozonate on here to push the sub. And some other effects, like washing effects and stuff. And let me just check. Is everything all right? Everything's good. That's cool. Okay. And then we have some other basses in there that we still mixed in. And some of the fills. And then together they sound like this. drops. And then in this part as well, we have the sort of the vocal lead coming back in. And that's really kind of like the different. I feel like it kind of differentiates from the A and B section, so you kind of know, okay, this is the A section, this is the B section. So the drop is always kind of like evolving into something more. And since this is likely not a track that's like, it's not super important how the sub is being panned out, right? So I did some panning fun here as well, I believe. It doesn't hurt when it's like sort of when it's filler sections or transition sections. It doesn't really hurt that much. Obviously, if you get to the sort of the main parts, the hook parts, the sub should definitely be mono. But in these parts, you can kind of have some fun. And that's the outro. So yeah, I think that's all for the track. Again, there's not much in there, so I don't really get why Ableton was making it's such a hassle to stream. But yeah, that's the whole track. And obviously I could go more in depth with the sound design and stuff of things, but I think I did a decent job at the at generalizing a lot of it. I might have to cut this live stream because there was a lot of technical difficulties, but we should be good. But yeah, that was the breakdown of Where I Belong. A very brief breakdown. Obviously, there's this is all the result, right? There's been a lot more times put into the ideas and coming up with melodies, coming up with the main sounds and layering the chord stacks and all that stuff. Could you show your look and feel? What my look and what? Oh, you mean of the camera? Or what do you mean look and feel? Can you break down the master? So funnily enough about the master, there is no real master. I did do some cleaning up with the EQ. Basically what I did here is, because I feel like nowadays there's not much of a loudness war going on anymore. So what I actually did is I turned down the mids and highs a bit. So the bass, the sub had a bit more room, because I feel like, especially with tracks like these, you really want the sub to sort of hit your chest, right? Because that usually makes it more emotional. And so I turned down the mids and highs just a bit. It's a very unorthodox thing to do on the master especially, but it really worked for this track. And again, there's not really much mastering stuff going on here. Because again, I sent this out to a mastering engineer. But what I can tell you is that the end result wasn't that crazy different from it. And that's just showing that you really need a good mix down to get a good master done. And the final master of the track sounds really, really good. I really like it. It's very warm and has a lot of depth to it. And it's very clean for live stream purposes, of course. For streaming purposes, I mean. But yeah, that was the breakdown of Where I Belong. And I think we're coming to an end of the stream, actually. Because I kind of just want this to be a breakdown stream. I think I will have to edit this video. Like, I will have to, because I have to cut out all of the technical difficulty stuff. Ableton look and feel. Oh, that's the, wait, let me switch back to screen. I'm pretty sure that's, let me check. That's Live 10 Dark with these settings right here. I actually introduced a little bit of blue in there because I was looking a little bit too brownish. But yeah, Cool. So that was it. Let's start something new. I think next stream will likely start something new. Because honestly, like I've been starting so many tracks that I need to start finishing them. Like I need to start finishing them, right? Can you show the settings when you export it? Oh, it's really simple actually. So I basically just select the part that I want to export, right? I press Control-Shift-R. So I can export it, and then usually just the bit depth is usually just 24-bit. The file type has to be WAV, and then I just click export. It's super simple, really. But yeah, I usually just make sure that the track doesn't clip. It doesn't have to be an exact minus 14 decibels. As long as it doesn't clip when you want to master it. But since I didn't master it, I didn't have anything on here. But yeah, that was all for the track, really. Let me switch back. Why do you use dither? Isn't that when you go to a lower bit depth? You mean in the render export settings? Was there dithering on? I didn't see any dithering. What do you mean with dither? Is it okay to have a limiter on the master always? Honestly, sure. As long as you like, again, depending on like, are you using it for mastering or are you using it to like send to mastering? What are you trying to do with it? When you resample the saw, you will sample the sub differently. You resample the saw, you will sample the sub differently. Oh, you mean if I use a different like a separate sub? Let me actually play the track in the background. Gonna bring it up here. Okay. Sit back up. Do you export your tracks in .wav for every platform? Yes, I do. Always best quality. You could argue that it doesn't matter if you upload WAV or MP3 because it's gonna like compress it anyways, no matter what. Should the export be MP3? You can run it as MP3 if you want to. It doesn't really make much of a difference unless you're sending it to like Spotify and stuff. Then it makes a difference. When will the next stream be? So I decided to stream every 2 weeks. So every second Friday, there's a stream. Actually, on all social media, I'll always be posting. The day before, I'll be posting one of my like really quick Blender artworks. With just like a Friday live stream announcement. So you can expect every second live stream. You can expect a stream, and obviously you can expect a lot more music coming this year. Yeah, let me check out some of the YouTube comments. Melodic EP anytime soon. Probably more singles than EPs, but there might be an EP coming the next months. I don't know quite yet. Do you do shakes in Blender or in Post? It depends. It depends what kind of shape it is. Shake. What do you think of the Skrillex's new music? The stuff he put on Audius, or which new music? Yeah. Okay. So all of the stream issues we had seem to be gone now. So it might have been Live 11. Maybe like sometimes what Live does is like they will start downloading a new update in the background. So maybe that was like interfering. We need a Blender graphic design live stream. I might do something like that, but I'm not quite sure yet whether I want to do CG stuff on this channel. Also, let me throw the fan link again. Let me throw that into the YouTube chat. Yeah, Paul, you just said you just got an email for Life 11 update, so it could be that actually. Totally. Actually, the last time they updated my Life 11, Life 11 was really laggy, like really laggy. So it might have been that. It could totally be. Hey Nasco, what speakers do you have? Advise good one. Hey Evil Wave. I have the Yamaha HS7. They also have a subwoofer version of it, so they have an extra subwoofer, a woofer for it. But that's not really an option when you have a home studio, you know, because of neighbors and stuff. So they're really good because they don't have too much sub to annoy your neighbors, basically. But they do have enough when you're standing like right in front of them. They're right here. That's when they're really good. So yeah, I think honestly we can probably wrap this stream up at this point, unless there's any more questions that you guys have. You can write them down in the YouTube chat or in the Twitch chat. I don't know if it's just YouTube being slow, but the chat is not updating for me. Oh, now it did. What music have you been listening to recently? Honestly, not that much music actually. Because I've been working on a lot of music. But let me think. Will you be doing Future Rhythm in the next month? Probably. I actually do have a little project that I started just recently. I think I can show you this one. It's really, really cool. And you guys actually let me know if I should make this into a thing, because I don't quite know yet. It sounds really cool, but I'm not entirely sure. How often do you produce? Usually 5 weekdays, like Monday to Friday. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It depends, because like you can have an 8-hour session and not be productive at all, because whatever you made isn't good. Or you can have a 4-hour session and, you know, have that be super efficient. And for me, I'm more of the sort of second type person. Let me see what this is. What did I call it? Is it this? Any drum and bass? No drum and bass at the moment. Why Nasco is not using FL anymore? Because Ableton is live just crashed. That's great. Because Ableton is just a bit more advanced when it comes to sound design. It's a bit easier to learn sound design through Ableton. How did you learn music production? Kind of just autodidact? What's it called? Just kind of taught it myself during school. Do you watch tutorials at all, or how do you learn more often? Again, you can kind of, it's weird, but what you can do is you can kind of teach yourself to learn things by doing or like experimenting practically. So like what I used to have is a lot of, and I had these sessions actually a lot with Blender. These sessions where you don't really produce music, but rather you kind of like try to figure out how to do a certain thing by already not like kind of trying to apply the knowledge that you already have onto things. Kind of like, I hate to say it, but kind of like math, where they like kind of give you a task at something that you don't really get an explanation to on how to solve it, but it's clearly meant to be solved with with the knowledge that you already have. So sound design is kind of like similar. Like you can start off with some basic knowledge, and you can like some really basic knowledge, right? Just how sound works, and you can explain most of the things that happen with those basic concepts. Like you can, any effect you can kind of break down to its core, and it's usually always something really simple, technically speaking, or like from the concept. And you can kind of like, with that knowledge, you can kind of just like start to kind of explain things to yourself, and it kind of enables you to figure new things out a lot easier without having to rely on other people's material or educational source content, I guess. Because you know how there's a lot of tutorial, like a lot of people have this situation. I had it as well. It's like a lot of recipes going around in the internet and in the community was like, you make a yaoi bass by using a downsample and a low pass. Everyone knows how to do that, but no one really understands why it's happening, right? And I think when you have a very like fundamental knowledge on how sound works, you can be like, oh yeah, of course, that's why that happens. And then you can be like, okay, well, you can also combine ring modulation with bit crushing, because then you have, you know, like who would think of using ring mod and bit crush, right? Well, what do you get when you have a square wave with a low pass and a high resonance? You get a very, very sort of a tone, right? Like a very specific resonance. Like a E. That's kind of what's happening with the high resonance and the low pass, right? You kind of creating a harmonic. A ring mod is doing a very similar thing. It's creating a harmonic. Just sometimes a lot higher, but honestly, the harmonics that a ring mod gets you are a lot more interesting than the one that a resonator can give you. But both, again, it's like you have a tone, and the bit crusher kind of turns that into something else that sounds a lot cooler. Kind of breaks it down. It must be a channel you follow. We'll love to see. Let me open up this project again. There isn't really much channels that I used to learn from. I guess some of the people that kind of inspired me a bit were let me think, because it's been such a long time since I've done that. Channels like Slink, Mr. Bill, those are not really ones that I watched a lot, but I can definitely recommend them. Seamless R did some really interesting videos. Obviously, all of the virtual Riot live streams are the ones you can really learn something from. But yeah, it's again, I think the biggest advice I can give is just have your own sort of experimental sessions where you just try to figure out why something is doing a thing. And one of the best ways to do it is by using very, very basic input sources. So for example, use a saw wave, use a sine wave, use a kick drum, use a snare drum, use white noise. Try and see what that specific effect does to your sound. Right? That's like super important. What is a saturator doing? It's adding harmonics to a sound, right? That's what it's doing, and that's why everything's so much louder. But it can also be overboard, and then it kind of pushes the harmonics but pushes down the other ones, and it's all that kind of stuff. Just understanding the fundamental effects is really, I think, really efficient, because it just opens up sort of like a lot of times when happy accidents happen and you have a combination of sounds, and then it's like, oh cool, I don't know why that is happening, but that sounds cool. And then when you have the fundamental knowledge, you can kind of like explain it to yourself. And I don't know, I just feel like it's more freeing it opens up more possibilities. But then like again, you would kind of have to study sound design, but you don't really have to. You don't have to go into the math aspect of it, or the coding aspect of it, the programming aspect of it, the physical aspect, kind of the physical aspect, not too much though. You will definitely have like at least, you will have to have at least a couple months of nerding out and just experimenting and just figuring, like understanding why things sound the way they sound. Yeah, especially like using things like Serum, Vital, Faceplant, trying different pipelines, basically, right? Different systems, because at the end of the day, they're all doing the same thing. They're creating sounds, right? But how do they do that, and how do they differentiate? And you will notice that most of them are actually really, really the same. So let me open up this project. Go to screen. Should have worked. This is actually something I started a while ago. I think it sounded really cool. I don't really remember. So this is just like some future rhythm type thing. I just had a go at, and I'm gonna just play this, and you guys let me know if I should make this into a real thing. So yeah, this was actually really interesting the way I started this off. I think I started off with this. So that was just like a single hit. And then I had this arc. Then I had this, which I think is like a resonator. What was happening here again? Oh yeah, I'm using delays. But there's more. Wait, there's more core. Yeah, it's the same thing as you can hear. I think it's a variation of this patch, actually. Yeah, it's a variation of this patch. And then it's running through some delays. And then running through vocodecs and OTT. And then it's running through erosion. And then redux. And then we have this bass, which is this is the sub. And then I actually started using Saturn too, which is really, really cool. And then this bass is so interesting, right? So what I did here is I had a very, very simple patch, actually. It's Let me just check that everything is working. I think it's in a very similar key, yeah. So this is the actual patch for that bass. It's just this, I think it's just a saw wave. I don't know if I have the, oh, that's just some growls. Let me see. I don't think I have the original patch anymore, but yeah, this was a really, really simple, as you can hear. Yeah, I think it's just a saw, like a super saw with a low pass filter. I believe. Like a very, very not steep, with a very, very smooth slope. And then I added some auto filter with some envelope tracking, so it basically would just turn up the filter whenever the volume would go up. And then I had an kind of like the same processing here. And this is really interesting, actually. So we have an image line, like a vocodec, but I actually turned up the modular pitch shift. So if we reset this, let me turn this off. It's really loud. And then when we turn this up, it's almost like pitching it up, but in a more natural way. And then added some OTT. Sounds super cool. And then adding some 2 delays. And it sounds super dope. And then adding a Saturn and a saturator. And then I did the same thing here. But I think this one's just a normal pitch. Also, another thing I would likely do and then I have this background effects. Very simple as well. And then I have these melodies right here. And the drums are actually super minimalistic. I think it's just like a virtual riot kick that this was a very much just a project that I did out of fun. So I just had like one of his kicks, and then I kind of like cropped out all of the beginning of the low end. So it's a very, very like slappy kick, right? It's super short now. And then I added one of his claps, and then also made that super short and kind of faded that in. So that's what that sounds like. And then I had my cymbals in there. And then here, actually, I just took one of my snares, I believe. And then just took the beginning of it. And then just layered that. And that's sort of that track. So, if you guys think that I should make that into like a proper track, I want you to, if you don't think I should make it into a proper track, throw in a flame emoji. And if you think I should make it into a proper track, throw in a door emoji, just like we did with the breakdown. Let me just play it again in the background. Greetings, Neon. Door. You can't send emojis in Twitch. I see. Oh no, you can. Yeah, think I should make this into a proper track. Pretty sure. Someone asked about the sub. The sub is just like a sine wave, actually. And then I just threw a Saturn on it. So I threw a Saturn in it and then used the warm tube function. Or the warm tube distortion. I think warm, like all of the tube, what's really interesting about Saturn too, is the fact that all of the tube ones they add harmonics, but they add even harmonics rather than odd harmonics. Which can sound sort of like saw wavy. So it kind of turns your sub into kind of like a low pass saw wave, but it sounds really nice. Obviously, I should probably add more background stuff and make this a bit more epic and change the drums. Because right now it's very beat-ish, I guess. It's very simple, very dry. But yeah. So yeah, not unlegit. Love the chords. Yeah, I like them. I like them a lot too. I think actually we can end the stream with one more track that I'm going to tease. Are those chords and then you chop them? Which ones? Do you mean these? This is just a serum patch. I think this is just like a sine wave, yeah. And I really liked using Redux in this project. Very simple patch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play one ID and then I'm going to end the stream. Okay? This has been super fun. Again, I'm sorry for all the technical issues. Everyone that stayed, even though they were happening. Thanks a lot. And again, I'm going to throw the fan link one last time into the chat. Where I Belong is out now, and you can listen to it everywhere. And I appreciate every single stream, every single listen that you guys give, and every single bit of feedback. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good night. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Hopefully, again, both on Twitch and YouTube, if we don't run into any technical issues, because I can't keep having these. They get really annoying after a while. And let's end the stream with a bang. So I'm going to play an ID. And let me just make a new project file so I can throw this in here. Where's it? Is it this? No, it's 02. Is it? Where is it? It has to be here. Not 05. Where's the project? Is it this? Did I not render it out any differently? Wait, let me check. Oh yeah, it's definitely that. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Let me grab this. It would have to be this, right? Cool. Pretty sure that's it. How's this one different? You know what? I'm just gonna play it from SoundCloud because that's easier. Okay. So, anyways, thank you guys for sticking around. I really appreciate. Again, I appreciate every single viewer. And we're gonna end the stream with a new idea. Actually, it's the tune from last stream. But I completely revamped it. Like, it's completely different now. So I'm gonna play this, and I wish you a good night. And again, thanks to everyone that's listening to Where I Belong. And yeah, I'll see you guys next stream. Let me play this. Here we go. So yeah, that was one of the new work in progresses. I'm absolutely in love with it. and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And hopefully that's going to be out soon as well. And love how often this happens. Yeah. And again, one really important thing: this stream is gonna be in the let me see where the playlist is. So if you go to my main channel, it says producing/streams. It's gonna be in there. It's not gonna be gone. On YouTube, on my YouTube channel, it's gonna be in there. But it's not gonna be in the videos tab. So because I wanna kinda just clean up that whole section a bit for all of the music videos. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. And I wish you a good night. See ya.